Hello, hello. We are back again for another episode. Still have these from the last episode still over here in the corner drying. Of course, it is still Monday the 13th. So back to back filming. So we're going to do what they've got it labeled a test bench, which I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, a furnace, and the astrometer. So the only thing I've done off camera besides the sanding is I have glued the light fixture for the astrometer. So just because I knew that was going to take a bit to dry, so I wanted to do that off camera while I was making myself some lunch and then come back to do this. So first things first is going to be this little test bench. Simple. It's only 4 pieces, so should go together very, very easily. So let's see which part I need the glue on. Okay. I don't understand how my glue globs up and clogs when it's sitting upright. I don't understand that. That's too thick. Just didn't want to get like way in there to get one of my skinny ones, but ooh. Missed and stabbed myself. Okay. So hopefully this, I'm going to leave those out just in case. Okay, that one goes there. This goes here. Trying to get it to sit level. It's interesting because it doesn't have any braces. Normally there's like a cross member, you know, to help square it up, but not in this case. And then this goes on the bench. It's got a little knobby that goes into that hole. Cut. That piece is super simple. Could have done that in the last video, but you know. Okay, so this tells me to cut off 2 of these. So there's 1. Come on, separate. And 2. Okay. And then that can get put back in its little baggie. And then we have this that we twist, fold in half, and we'll cut it goes through the bead. But one a little higher than the other. So I'm using the bead to determine where to cut those two. Okay. So we add, again, we're going to just add glue straight into the bead. And I'm going to add one of the little plant, and then one of the greenery. Another one of the flowers. And the other green. Let's see, let's go. Where do we want to put it? Over here? Having some trouble holding on to stuff. Apparently I'm having trouble even with my tweezers. Okay. We're just going to stick that in there. In theory, let it go. Okay. And then I'm just going to slide it. It's going to leave a trail of glue, but that's okay. Just do. Okay. Now we assemble the fireplace. So we need 2 of these, this, and one of these, I do believe. That's because there's 2 of those, and this should be the back. Okay, so to the bottom, we're going to add one of these on each side with the tabs facing forward. So I'm going to glue up to, in, and to the other side of that hole. And then one goes in here. One goes in here. Make sure they're both facing the right way. Interesting, there's two tops. Okay, then the front goes on. And I guess it kind of makes sense because then it creates like a mantle. I do like things that don't make me think how to put them together, you know, when things just are logical. Come on. Get in there. The peg wasn't wanting to go into the hole. That side wasn't wanting to either. Okay. Down. don't understand what's going on here. Did I put this on the wrong side? Sure did. That makes sense why it wasn't wanting to go in. I'm like, what is malfunctioning here? It would just be me. I'm the malfunctioning one. And then this piece goes on the back and it fits in between all of them. So I'm going to glue from the inside. This one got a goober on it in manufacturing, so I'm going to put that on the back. Where you won't see it. I'm going to put these sides together. Put that in there. Okay. This goes here. Stick the paper accessory. What paper accessory? Oh boy. Looks like I gotta figure something out because it tells me to stick a paper accessory, but like, what the heck is a paper accessory? There's nothing in the directions that explain what that component is. Okay, so that goes on there. And then this, oh, this is goobered up on both sides. Okay, goes like so. This is what they mean by the paper accessory. I don't know. I wonder. I'm going to try it on the back. Wondering if they colored the black first. Nope. No, I'm experimenting on the back because it's gonna, obviously it will be hidden when it's put together. I'm trying to get a closer color. Okay, well. Oops. Kind of put that in at the wrong angle, so it didn't quite go in. Alright, so to the furnace, I'm going to add a little fire, which I want to do with my tweezers. Where did I put them? Y'all see them anywhere? Ah, there they are. Because it kind of sits just on the inside of the front. So, right, like, okay, maybe not with the tweezers, I don't know. Oop. It's like trying to play Operation right now, you know, the kids game. Trying not to hit the buzz, you know, the edges. Okay. Like that, maybe. I was thinking I wanted it to scoot over, but it's not wanting to scoot. So it's just going to be where it's at. And then on top of this, we glue our flour. So I'm just going to squirt some glue on the bottom. There's still some wet glue coming out from the first step with this. Come on, glue. So this goes right here. There's glue on my thumb, so I didn't want to let go. Next to that, we have a book. A closed book that's kind of hanging, sorta. And then an open book sitting on top of that. Like so. And then next to that is this little scale. Go ahead and close that up for a moment. It's funny, next to everything else, it's like the book looks massive. Okay, so this next part is going to be kind of tricky, but I think I get what it's doing. So there's 3 different pieces, and they are black, so sorry, a little hard to see. There. So this has got a extended thingy on it. This one's got 2 little notches. These attached to this, but these have a little beep, beep, a little spot where it's cracked open so that you can get them inside inside the other one. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right there. And I colored these black off screen, colored the edges in, but I can see there's a couple spots where I missed, but there's also some spots that the wood broke as I was pulling it off the controller thingy bobber. Okay, so this one, I can now glue these down. Glue that one closed. Oops. And then this one, open that up so I can get it on there. Spin. And it attaches. Does it go on the outside of that? Seems like it needs to be. Okay. This is a little tricky for me. Okay, let's get that to attach. Easier said than done. These ones are very, very snug. Let's see. Just got to figure out a way to get it on there without breaking the other one. Or the other two. There we go. Are we in the middle? No, we are not. Let's ah, son of a biscuit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see that? How that just happened? Which means this one is now on hold because I gotta let this glue dry. Get that up in there. Get that up in there. If I had any level of confidence, I would actually just glue it broken and glue it in place and then glue the broken part, but I don't feel confident in that at all. Okay, while that's going, let's do this. I'll glue this to this, and then this goes on top of that. lining up the holes. Because this is a lamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my awl, put it through the hole, put the glue pieces together through that hole. That's just making sure that they stay lined up. And then this piece, glue on. And again, I'm going to match the hole. Because once this dries and I can finish assembling this, the lamp goes in the middle. This goes in the middle here. Like so. Then this, the wire, threads through the bottom of this. And that will be our first lamp completed. So I wanted it to go around both. Yeah, that whole thing happened because it was such a tight fit there that when I realized it was not centered and I tried to move it, it just broke into pieces. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some glue up under here on this side. And some glue out on the outer ring out here. Try to keep that centered. You know what? This needs to be on the outside of both of them. Come on, just cooperate. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. This goes there. Okay. Ah! Whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. Stuck to my finger. Okay. So it needs to go around that one, and around that one. There. Wait a minute, how does this... Okay. I'm going to have to be patient and let this dry, so... Patience is, generally speaking, not in my wheelhouse. But it's going to have to be. So I'm going to put this back on there. Because, yeah, it instantly broke again. And I think it's got to go... I think it's got to go on the outside of this one, but on the inside of this one. So that's going to take some maneuvering with my fingers that I can't actually do right now. But this will go here. So the light will go in like this. This will poke into that same hole as the light. Good Lord. And then this light will be on the inside there. So, yeah. This I'm probably going to do off camera. Simply because I foresee some yelling and frustrating screams in my near future trying to get this part done. So, let's put this back together because it just decided it was going to pop off. So we're going to glue that light back on there. Whoop. And again, trying to glue a round slippery thing to a flat slippery thing. Makes it a little on the challenging side. Grab another one of these. We're gonna see if that'll hold it. There we go. Those are gonna sit off to the side and dry. But that is, I'm gonna call it for today. It's a short little video, 33 minutes. But we have the little table, little fireplace, and then I'm working on this little lampy thing. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you in the next video.